So nice one. So yeah, guys, for those who have been here before, welcome back. This is the final LegitFit session for now. It's the final one of this week. As I said before, we will be looking to do these again in the new year. So yeah, final one for this week on sales and growth strategies for your business in 2023. So I'll quickly run through, like, we've been teaming up with people to create this network of support for our customers and theirs. This is to offer advice and guidance in areas kind of outside of fitness business management software, which we specialize in. So all the talks this week have kind of touched upon areas to prepare better for 2023, since the general outlook isn't exactly that rosy right now. So we want to help prepare you to tackle it head on and make sure your business is the best it can be. A lot of the conversations we've had this week have kind of been around sales and growth, obviously, and there's always that underlying need to increase membership. You'll remember, those who were here yesterday looked at kind of how to grow your business without the fear of being salesy with Charlie from FMA. Our guest today, Ronan, who we've just been chatting with, I think he's probably got the least fear I've ever known of anyone being salesy. He absolutely loves sales. So quick welcome to Ronan. Do you want to do a quick intro? And you may as well crack on from there, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, perfect. So let me just share my screen here. We'll pop up the presentation, and then I'll tell you a little bit about me and why it might be valuable to listen to me. Who knows? Maybe it's not. We'll go back to slide number 1. So who am I, and why should I even listen to me? So my name is Ronan, and I happen to own a gym, but I am actually a salesperson. I've been working in sales for about 20 years at this stage. I've done every sort of sales. I've been an estate agent, been a recruitment agent. I've sold technology. I've sold finance solutions. And then for the past 5 years, I've owned a gym and done gym sales. I did originally start, I suppose, training back in the 90s when everyone thought it was weird to go to the gym. That's when I did my first PT certificate. Or not PT, just weight certificate, but didn't become a PT till about sort of 12 years ago, after living to excess in sales, drinking way too much, eating too much, got really fat, and decided I need to do something about it, so became a PT. And I've been running 6-week programs or 6-week challenges. Started over in Australia since probably 2012. When I started working as a PT, or 2011 even it was. Now that was with a different group over there, and they just worked phenomenally well. So I have a lot of experience in sales. In terms of selling gym memberships, I've sold over 2,000 of these things in the last 5 years. So that's a lot of trial, a lot of error, but I've sort of perfected a sales script that I just want to give to you guys. Just like take it and use it exactly as I say, because it will work for you. But sales isn't about skill per se. Sales is about volume. The more reps you do, the better you're going to get it, okay? You start to understand your tone of voice, the client's tone of voice, what questions work with that client, what questions work with this client. Usually halfway through the sales script, you'll already know if you've got a sale. In terms of what I'm selling, I always sell a front-end program. So its majority is like a 6-week body transformation program, or I sell a 12-week program as well. The sales ticket price is between €1,000 and €400 for a 6-week program, whether that's personal training or group training. So it's high ticket with big margins and lots of profit, so I can then go on and hire coaches, so that I'm not doing all the work. So I've got about a team of 6 or 7 coaches who are working for me here now, and we can afford to pay the rent, pay the coaches, pay the bills, because we have that high ticket stuff, but we've got good retention on the back end. So worth pointing out that I'm going to be focusing on acquisition or front end sales at the moment, but the real money is in the back end sales. The real money is in keeping your clients, making sure you're tracking their progress, measuring them, having quarterly goal setting sessions with them, and ensuring you know where they're going and you're helping them get there. That's where the real money is. But in order to do that, you need to know how to sell on the front end. So interestingly enough, I'm just going to give you a couple of numbers here. I was, I think it was maybe about 8 weeks ago, I was at the Fitness Marketing Agency conference over in Brighton. And I was asked to give a talk on gym sales. The reason being is we post our gym sales numbers in the Fitness Marketing Agency group on a monthly basis. And mine would generally be the highest, or the second highest. Anyway, I got up on stage and said, look, we're going to play a little bit of a game. And I got everybody in the room to stand up. So it was about 250 gym owners. I was going to play a game that I thought was going to take a lot longer than it did, but it ended fairly quickly. So I had a question for the guys in the room, the gym owners. I said, did you or anyone in your business make on average 10 sales calls per day for 5 days of the week. Now, you should be selling at least 6 days of the week, but I said, look, we'll give you 5 days. 95% of the room, I think, sat down, okay? And these are people who are maybe, struggling a little bit to make sure all the coaches are paid and the rent is paid and they've got a bit of profit and they're paying themselves at the end of the month. Or maybe they're not hitting their financial targets. They're not making over 100 grand a year each. And these are people who aren't making 10 sales calls a day. So when you become a gym owner, you technically cease to be an operator, okay? And you're not the one who should be in sweeping the floor. You're not the one who should be in coaching the classes. You're not the one who should be doing all of the personal training. You are the revenue generating machine. You got to learn about sales. You got to learn about marketing. There's agencies out there who can help you with the marketing. They'll get the leads in the door. They'll get them knocking on the door. It's your job to get them in there. So, you got to get those numbers up. I don't know what your average sales numbers are per day, but like most people are on rookie numbers. They're doing 3 sales calls a day, 4 sales calls a day, 5 sales calls a day. Last March, when I had my old business, we opened a new gym in Rathmines. There was a couple of clients who carried over to that, but it was pretty much empty. I stopped doing, I hired a coach, did 0 coaching whatsoever, maybe just filled a few gaps if need be. And I just ran my ads and sat on the phone all day, making calls, minimum 40 calls a day. And that included Saturday and Sundays. And the place was full within 12 weeks. So absolutely full at capacity, 180 clients. So absolute bare minimum is 40 calls a day. Now, you probably won't speak to 40 people and you get a lot of missed calls and stuff like that, but it's call, text if they don't answer, call, text if they don't answer. You got to keep doing it. So I said, it's all about the reps. It's all about the reps. The more reps you do, the better you'll get. So interestingly enough, how did I find out that this was the best way to go? Because I used to do face-to-face consultations, okay? And this photo will make sense in just a second, okay? Sorry for picturing my shirt off there. So I was, during lockdown, gym was closed, as I'd imagine a lot of our gyms was closed. And so I said, fuck this, I'm swearing on camera, sorry about that, we can edit that one out. I said, I'm leaving the country, I'm not staying in Ireland. Ireland was an absolute joke for lockdown. So I bought a one-way ticket to Tenerife, taught my online classes over there. But I don't know if any of you remember, Facebook were giving out marketing grants during lockdown for businesses who had suffered from the effects of the pandemic. So these grants, I think it was 2,000 or 3,000 euro worth of advertising credits. They were due to expire, I think, in like March or April or something like that. So they had to be used. So what I started doing was advertising. Now, this is great because there was nobody else advertising, so I was getting a lot of leads. And even though like the ads weren't the best ads in the world, we were getting loads of leads. And I would sit on my balcony, like you'd see there, calling people up and pre-selling memberships for when it was open. The sales calls were lasting 10 to 15 minutes, and people were paying high prices up front to secure a spot for when things were open. And this is when I realized I didn't need to waste as much time with a face-to-face appointment. I didn't need someone to come into the gym so that, we could get them on the scales and weigh them. If I was asking the right questions on the front end, I was able to close these people in 10 to 15 minutes. So my conversion rate went way up. So if we go back to last year, last March, I was converting 60% of all of my leads, not 60% of, people who showed up to the gym, which it used to be. I was converting 60% of all of my leads into new clients. So we're able to get it really quick. So a lot of you guys would have come across Alex Hormozi if you're in the fitness industry. Some people love him, some people hate him. Regardless whether you like him or hate him, he's got some really good points to make. And when I was looking at his content and his material, and I was looking at my material and how we actually close deals, and it was very, very similar the way we were going about things. So this is the closer framework. So if you're learning yourself, or you're you're not 100% comfortable with sales yet because you haven't done that much volume, it's a really good framework to work off. And I'll give you specific questions that tend to fall within this framework. So the great thing about fitness is when a client comes to us or a lead comes to us, we already know they have a problem. We need to clarify that problem. So we need to ask questions around, why are they here? What is the problem? Is it, on the surface here, they're going to say, I want to lose a bit of weight. Well, why do you want to lose a bit of weight? Is it because your husband's not sleeping with you anymore? Is it because you're 33 and you want to meet a man to get married? Do you know what I mean? I'm just giving some typical problems that come up here. So we got to clarify that. So it's not like we're just here for weight loss or we're just here for muscle gain. It's why are we here? And then label that problem. So label the problem, fixes it in the client's mind. So you get to your second question. So, okay, so you're saying you want to lose weight so that, or because you want to X, Y, Z. So we want to get them projecting themselves into the future, and they're looking at that future experience, okay, where they want to get, because we've got the solution. We 100% have the solution. We know we have the solution for all of these problems that our leads are coming to us with. And then you go, well, what did you do in the past? You know, what happened beforehand? Why have you not achieved this result before? What have you done? Where did you train? What did you eat? Okay, so you're now coming up with bullet points of all the things they've done before, so that you will know what their objections might be when it comes to the actual sale. And then, as Alex likes to say in his video, sell the vacation. This is where a lot of us go wrong. Okay, this is where we're like, okay, cool. You know, Sally wants to lose weight and she wants to get a new husband, and I can solve this problem, you know. And they said, well, this is how we're going to do it. We are going to, you know, get you on this program. You're going to train 3 days a week. We're going to get you like nutrition, and you start selling the process rather than the vacation. Okay, so the vacation is the holiday itself. It's being on the lounger. So we got to use words like, okay, imagine in 6 weeks time, or imagine in 6 months time, when you are fitting into that old pair of jeans. The pair of jeans is a great one. Like, do you have a pair of jeans in the wardrobe? Do you have a dress in the wardrobe do you want to fit back into? Imagine when you fit back into that dress in 6 months time. How are you going to feel? Is that going to be amazing? Because we have helped literally thousands of people get back into their dresses. So you're selling the vacation. Don't talk about the process. Don't talk about your qualifications. Most people don't even care. You know, most people don't even care if you're actually a personal trainer. As long as you can get them the outcome in a certain period of time, or at least a few steps towards the outcome in a period of time, then they're going to want to sign up with you. Explaining away their concerns, this is a good one as well. So there will be objections. Okay, so we're not going to go too deep into objection handling here, but there's plenty of material online about objection handling. It's really just about asking questions. Again, okay, so tell me, do you have any concerns? You know, stuff will come up. Well, I'm not sure I have the time. Okay, well, you know, let's talk about that. Why do you not have the time? Tell me about your agenda. What hours are you working? You're working 9 to 5. Okay, cool. You got to drop the kids off here. Okay, cool. We've got these 3 sessions that are going to work for you. Okay, so you find out what their concerns are and you explain them away. But the only way you can explain away the concern, you don't go on the defensive straight away. You ask questions. You keep asking questions. Your job is to listen, listen, listen. Ask a question, listen. Ask a question, listen. And one of the things that will come up in my sales script is that you've got to recap always. So I want you, when you're on a sales call, to have a pen and paper and write stuff down. Like, I've got like Google Notes or whatever it is on my laptop. I'll write down that and then I'll repeat it back. So I'll ask a question. I'll say, let me make sure I got this right. You said X because of Y and you want Z. Have I got that right? Yes. Have I missed anything? No. So if you think about people's psychology, most people want to feel that they are being listened to. And a way to show them that they are being listened to is to actually repeat back what they say. And don't just use this advice in your sales calls. Take it back into your personal relationships too. You'll find that things go a lot better if you show your partner that you have been listening to them. Reinforce the decision, okay, as Alex says here. So again, it goes back to, okay, I'm going to recap here. This is why you said this. This is why you said that. This is where you want to go. Okay, this is why it's going to be really good for you, because we're going to get you from A to B in this time frame. You reinforce the decision. Remember, when people are speaking to you, they're generally in an emotional state. So this is the best time to close a deal, when they're in that emotional state, which comes to my next point. How do we answer the phone? And when should you answer the phone? So statistically, and this is across the board, whether you're selling a B2B solution like LegitFit to a gym owner, or whether you're selling a weight loss program to a guy who just wants to, you know, drop a few stone to feel more confident about themselves, and calling the person straight away is just closes the deal. The percentage close rate is much higher. Even if you suck at sales, the speed to get to that person is just phenomenally good for your ability to close deals. So I have notifications set up on my phone. When a lead comes through, bang, I get a text, I call them, okay? People are like shocked when they get a phone call straight away. They're in an emotional state. And I've done this like Saturday night at 11 o'clock. If I'm home, I'll call someone like, Jesus, I wasn't expecting a call, because that's usually somebody sitting on the couch with a bag of Maltesers and a glass of wine, like maybe watching like a chick flick or some movie, feeling sorry about themselves. Or if you really want to make sales, Sunday is ideal. People with hangovers, feeling terrible about themselves, want a way out, Sunday is great. But when you answer the phone, how do you answer it? Most people, when they answer the phone, Like, hi, this is Ronan from District 1 Gym. No, 100%, the complete wrong way. You want to answer the phone like a 13-year-old girl who hasn't seen her best friend for 10 minutes and she's just called her, and it's the most exciting thing ever. You pick up the phone and all you do is say their name. Hello, Sarah? Silence. Complete silence. That is how you pick up the phone. Super excited. Why do you do that? What's the purpose? It breaks down the barrier. They think it's their friend, okay? And they're like, hello? Who's this? Is this Dave? Is this Joe? Or whatever it is. Like, that's what they think about. No, it's Ronan here from District 1 Gyms. I just got your application. I'm super excited to speak to you, okay? So you got to pick up the phone with excitement. And one of the best ways to do this is to actually stand up when you're making your phone calls, because you'll project greater energy if you're standing up. I can sit my ass and do those phone calls all day because I'm used to it. I know the tonalities. But if you're just starting out with your sales, you want to get your reps in, stand up, a little bit of energy. I'm going to give you another bonus tip as well, just to get started. So a lot of people are nervous about sales calls. Okay, so this is a way to actually generate money from money. Okay, I've given this tip to people before, and like, you can literally turn £50 into £500 in a matter of hours. Okay, if you got £50 and get £50 coins, let's say you've got an empty gym and you need to fill it. Put your £50 coins on the left-hand side of your laptop or whatever it is that you're making your calls with. Every time you make a phone call, pass one to the other side. If you make 50 calls in a day, you will get through to at least 10 people, and minimum 2 of those people will buy. And if you're selling programs that are $400 or $500, you've just turned 50 into 500, just 10 extra money. Okay, if you do that every day, 7 days a week, you're gonna make a shit ton. If you do it 6 days a week, you're gonna make a shit ton. If you're gonna do it 5 days a week, you're gonna make a shit ton. So this is how to increase your money. You're literally growing your money. You're projecting 50 into 500 all of the time, even if you're selling slightly lower prices as well. Okay, so really, really good. You got to be enthusiastic when you answer the phone, and then you hit up this script. Okay, and again, you'll see how it relates to the closer framework. So this is the exact questions I ask. Like, if my girlfriend could literally list off these questions because she's heard me say it so many times. She's heard me drop the same shit jokes so many times. Like, it's on repeat, okay? Same tonality. So question number 1. So a lot of the time, I think because I'm Irish as well, like, it's my natural reaction to ask someone how they are. And on a sales call, that's actually technically a bad thing, but I found a way to turn it around because it's my natural reaction. So be like, hello, Sarah? Silence. Hello, who's this? It's Ronan here from District 1 Gym. I just got your application. How are you? And they'll say, yeah, I'm good, da-da-da. And they will always ask you back, because of reciprocity, how are you? And I'll just make up some stories. Oh, well, it's absolutely freezing today, as it clearly is. But, the sun's out. I can't complain. But, Sarah, less about me and more about you, okay? That one always gets a bit of a laugh, always gets a bit of a joke. They now trust you. Their barriers are down. They don't think you're being salesy. And then you drop it with this question, open-ended question. So tell me, Sarah, where are you at your fitness? Where do you want to get? And how can I help you? So I'm positioning myself as a solution. I'm asking where they are now, where they want to get in the future. And I am the bridge that they need to cross to get there. And then you might have to ask a couple of why questions. Okay, so you want to lose a little bit of weight. And why? Like, why now? Why is it important to you now? Like, why didn't you do it like last January, like last year, And they'll go into it, where it was like busy at work or had a kid or, whatever it is. You need to get that why. So dig down on this question. This is the most important one at the start. And you get your why and your why. Why now? Why is it important to you now? What's this going to do for you in the future? So dig down, dig down, dig down. That's your top level question. Write it all down and recap. Okay, so you said you want to lose 2 stone and you want to lose it by June because you're a bridesmaid at your sister's wedding. Have I got that right, or have I missed anything? Let them talk, okay? After that, I try, like, people will tend to fall into 2 categories. They're either looking for weight loss or they're looking for strength and fitness. So I'll kind of get more specific. And the reason I want to get more specific there is because I've got specific high ticket programs depending on what they're looking for. So I can position in the right way. So, okay, you said you want to lose weight. So I just want to clarify, you're after fat loss versus, like, let's say strength and fitness. Would that be right? And they might come back and look, I'd love to be stronger, I'd love to be fitter. But yeah, primarily it's the fat loss. So, okay, perfect. Well, look, I've got different programs depending on different people, different people's goals. So I just need to ask you a few more questions. So I'm telling you which is the right one for you. Because if I don't know, I might tell you the wrong program and it'll be like waste of time, waste of money. I don't want to do that. So what have you done in the past to get results? So question number 3. So you want to dig a little bit here. What have they done in the past? What's worked for them? Maybe they have done something before and it's worked. Maybe they did like Slimming World, or maybe they did like weight training in the past, or they've done something, or cycling or whatever. We want to get into what's worked and what's not worked for them as well. And this will help us overcoming objections later on. Okay, so what have you done in the past? Dig in about that. Now, the next thing I like to do is tell a story. Now, I've got loads of stories because I've done this with thousands of clients that can relate to most people. But if you don't have a story, it's okay to make one up. Okay, it's not being sleazy, it's not being salesy, but it's relatable. So people relate to stories. That's our human nature. We connect to them emotionally. We got read them as kids. They make us feel good about themselves. They increase the trust. So when I find out, it's like, let me tell you about Mary. She actually called me up 12 months ago. She's still with us. She's still training. Like, you'll meet her down here at the gym. She looks absolutely phenomenal, but she stacked on a load of weight over COVID. She was working from home. The fridge was right there. There was wine in the evening times. That sounded a little bit like you. Yeah, absolutely. She came in. She was super nervous when she started, but we did a PT session with her first. You know, she felt super comfortable then going into the group classes. Once she started to learn about the nutrition, oh my God, she like absolutely accelerated. She flew. And these are the type of things we can teach you. So look, I just want to tell you about Mary, because it sounds like, look, she sounds really similar to you. We're getting the same results. It's relatable now. You know, you've told that story. They can now see themselves in Mary. Okay, so like, okay, cool. I can do this. Mary can do this. I can do this. It's a similarity there. So then I'll ask them once I tell the story. So is this the sort of thing you're looking for? You know, after I've given them the program that's right, and they'll be like, yes or no. If it's a no, that's fine. We go, well, why is this not going to work for you? This is when we start answering the objections, like you would have seen in Alex's closer frame there. And then you overcome them. And remember, for overcoming objections, you don't even want to say that much. You want to ask why. Most people can talk themselves out of their objections. Let's say it comes to like money, for example. Okay, so let's say I'm selling a group training program for between €1,000, or sorry, a group training program for between €1,000 and $399. I will price anchor. Okay, so let's say Sarah goes, look, okay, the 6-week program sounds pretty good, a little bit tight of money at the moment. How much is it? And I usually don't tell them the price. So, well, to do the 6-week program, if you want to do it all with a personal trainer, it's only €1,000. Okay, and I want her to be like, €1,000? Well, I don't have €1,000, because then we can break it down. I said, look, we've got a couple of different programs. If you do the hybrid program, half personal training, half group training, that's only €799. But if you do the group training program, that's only €399. Okay, and you can do a payment plan as well. So I like to focus on this price one, because I've been able to upsell so many people with this next tip. So Sarah might go to me, look, I don't know if this is for me. It sounds pretty expensive, and yeah, I'm not too sure. And I said, Sarah, honestly, not a problem. Most of the time, I tell people not to pay for the program up front. I tell them to pay for a personal training session, €60. So just in context here, all of my group training programs start with a personal training session, because that is another way to upsell to a program. And I'll give you 2 perfect examples. There's a girl called Roisin who's in today. There's another guy called Phil who's in today. They're both about 30 years old. And they both said, oh, the program's a little bit too expensive. They came in, did a personal training session with me. They paid €60. So I got their credit card details on the phone. They paid €60. They came in for their PT assessment, which is part of the group training anyway. We did a PT assessment. At the end, it was like, what do you think? Do you think you're ready for the group training classes? So I'll do like the PT here so they can see the classes. I don't think I'm ready. I think, do you know what? I think I'm going to do the personal training option. So this is like one of the girls is a school teacher. One of the other guys probably has a bit more money, works in sales, in technology sales. So they had the money, but we assume that people don't have the money, or we project our budgets onto other people, and that's the wrong way to look at it. You have no idea what the person's background is. Do they have inheritance money? Have they good savers? What they want to spend their money on? Maybe they don't drink too much on the weekends. They have extra cash. So getting people in for that initial session overcomes the price objection, and always get the money up front. Okay, always, 100% of the time. Don't let people come in without paying. At a bare minimum, if they don't have their credit card details on them at the time, I'll send them a text message while I'm on the phone with a Stripe link, so they can double tap it and pay with GPay or pay with Apple Pay. Make sure you get the money up front. When they pay, they're committed. They're going to come in, okay? And it's your opportunity to upsell there. So that's how to overcome price. You're then actually getting paid for a sales appointment. So most places would have got a lead, book them in for, you know, a half an hour consultation, and then maybe not get the sale. When I do it, I'm actually getting paid for them to come in and be upsold to again, but it's a great way to overcome price. Anyway, this is the last one as well to see if you can upsell, because a lot of us, again, like I said, will project our budgets onto people. It's the wrong way to do it. At the end, I always ask, oh, sorry, I totally forgot to ask. Are you looking for personal training? Or are you looking for group training? Some people will go straight away personal training, and they already kind of know the price. Maybe they've looked around or they've done PT before, and like, perfect. It's like 80 bucks an hour or 60 bucks for 45 minutes, whatever you guys are charging. So you can get the instant upsell. So just make no assumptions about people whatsoever. And these are the questions that I've been asking now, like religiously for, I would say, 18 months. And I do not sway from them. It doesn't go everything different. And like, again, I'm closing 60% of the leads that come in the door using these questions. If I give it to some of the guys in the team, they might be between 30 and 40%, but 30 and 40% conversion rate on leads is absolutely huge. So please do take these questions, do use them, and practice, practice, practice. Make as many calls as you can, because the more calls you make, the more you're going to get better at this. Okay, sales isn't a skill. Isn't a natural skill. You're not born with it. You can just learn it. I was shit at sales when I first started out at sales. I fucking hated it, okay? I was scared of it. I was scared of rejection. But once you do it enough, you don't care. Like, you're just like, if you don't close the sale, bam, call down, next call, next call, next call. You will get a sale every single day. You'll fill up your gym really quickly. So yeah, the bonus material I kind of just covered there is how to do the upsell. Try and sell a personal training session first. So example here, like I charge €60 for 45 minutes, which is actually cheap enough for the area I'm in. If a coach does the session, they get paid €25. So that's 50%. There's 15%, let's say your VAT plus merchant fees. So you're talking about 65% front, and then you've got the other 35% for yourself for margin, but you will generally upsell. So for those who aren't selling personal training, I would recommend it. And again, this isn't coming from me. This is the guys at Two Brain Business who've been mentoring me for probably about 2.5 years at the moment. Once they got us to start introducing personal training as part of our product mix, our profit margins shot up, our revenue shot up, our retention rate of members shot up as well. So people who come in for a PT session actually stick around longer because they get a much better onboarding experience rather than someone just coming into a group class. They wander around, they don't know anyone. Because when they're in their PT session, the next PT comes in, they say hello to them, they start to get to recognize faces. So I'd highly recommend adding in there, but it's an insanely good way for you to get paid for someone to come in and be upsold to. So guys, that was just a quick presentation. I hope that added some value for you. I hope you can take that away and start to use that in your own businesses as well. And that you'll make some cash, especially coming into January. So look, I'm open to questions. Any questions you have, any comments, anything you guys do that you'd like to share with the group would be awesome to share. Now we're all good. Okay.
Anyone? It's been the same this week. People are a bit shy. Guys, yeah, feel free to ask any questions now. You can always pop them in the chat box if you want as well, and we can pick them up afterwards. We can get Ronan to get in touch with you. But no, thanks for that, Ronan. Really good. I mean, maybe it was the picture of Matthew McConaughey, but I feel like I could be in Wolf of Wall Street now. For someone like me, like you kind of nailed my kind of feeling towards sales there. Like I've always had a bit of I guess it's a fear of rejection. Kind of maybe approaching it the wrong way. I think a lot of people kind of probably do the old, trying to find a solution to someone's problem, which you kind of did touch upon there a little bit. Mm-hmm. It kind of seems to be the most common approach.
You need, like in Alex's term, you need to label the problem. They all have problems, but you need to label it. You need them to say it, or at least to say it, and for them to agree with you. If they agree with you, you are then the solution to that problem. It's very hard for them unless there's wild objections. I mean, you get the odd one where they physically can't make the times or whatever, and that's fine, or they don't have the cash. But in general, if you're listening, you're repeating, constantly repeating, overcoming objections, you're going to make that sale. And like I was saying, I'm closing sales in 10 to 15 minutes. And some people are paying €1,000 up front on the phone to a guy they've never met before, give me their credit card details by just asking those questions and by doing it over and over and over again. And it's volume, guys. It's volume. You just need to be making 40 calls a day, 40 or 50 calls a day. And you need to outsource your role. I don't know how many of you guys are like physically operating your gym. Like right now I am at the moment. I'm probably working about 25 hours a week. So it's not wild. But as of next year, when the new manager's here and the team is there, I'll be just covering the odd class. maybe doing a few PT sessions with some of my old clients. So probably working 5 to 10 hours per week. The rest is going to be sales calls until I max out my gym. So I want to have 160 clients on subscription. I want to have about 15 to 20 clients on PT. From a numbers perspective, that's going to be bringing in 32 grand a month into the gym. I'll be 30% profit margins at that stage as well. That's after paying myself a salary. And I'll be taking home over 100 grand a year for 10 hours a week. Okay. And this has been taught to me by other people. And like, we're all independent gym owners. We should all be aiming for those sort of like same targets. So we should be upping our prices on the back end offer. So like, our membership should be 150, 160, 170, 180 a month. And the way for that to seem cheap is to sell something that's like 5, 6, 7, 800 quid on the front end for a short period of time. People like periods of time. You know, if they know I can get X, Y time, they're much more likely to buy it. If you try and sell a membership, hey, sign up for a 12-month plan. Like, people don't know where they're going to be in 12 months time. They can't project that far into the future. Okay, the majority of people. So if you sell something short term on the front end, and again, I've been doing this with other places over in Australia for years, it works. That's why people do it. So yeah, everyone's going, oh, the fucking 6-week challenge has been done to death, blah, 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 the free 6-week. It hasn't been done to death because people are still fat. Okay, and that's just a reality. And it's our job to make them not fat and feel good about themselves. That is our job, and that's the reality. Okay, and the only way we can do that at a high level of service is to charge high prices so we can get good coaches, we can get good accountability staff, and make sure they get the results. If you're selling a 6-week challenge for 90 quid, you're not helping that person at all. Okay, they're probably not even going to commit. It's only 90 quid. I don't give a shit if they turn up or not. If you're selling them a 6-week challenge for €1,000, they're fucking going to turn up, and they're going to turn up to every session, and they're going to get results, and they're going to tell their friends. Okay, because they lost 10 kg. And you're doing a disservice by charging cheap prices, not only to your clients but to yourself. Okay, because you need to be able to fucking pay your rent, you need to be able to pay your mortgage, feed your family, get the kids nice things at Christmas, whatever it is. You have to charge high prices. Okay, you got the other gyms, you got the Fly Fits, and all of those guys. They can charge low because they're economies of scale. I don't even know if you saw the Fly Fit report. They lost like a couple of 100,000 the last couple of years. Okay, so if I look at it from my perspective, those guys, cool, massive growth, loads of investment. I started my gym with no cash, just whatever I had in the bank, and I'm more profitable than those guys. So in theory, I'm more successful, you know, and I want everyone here to be the same as well. So we've got to start charging higher prices, and we got to look for those slightly older clients. So we'll go back to what we were talking about, Tom, at the start. Who's your client on the front end? A lot of the time, we like to attract, when we start out business, clients who are like us. So clients who like fitness. Okay, clients who like to work out. Okay, those clients are really hard to get because they're like CrossFitters or powerlifters, and they'll just go to the gym. They'll pick and choose where they want to train. Okay, there's no real money in that. Okay, the real money is in the mass market. The people who are in need our help are generally people who are a little bit older, who haven't been active in a while, who've got a dodgy knee. Okay, or they put on a load of baby weight. These are the people we're trying to help. These are the people we should be trying to help. And they're prepared to pay a lot more money to get that help as well, because inside they feel shit about themselves. Okay, and that's how you can make money. That's how you can really make an impact on your clients and in the industry as well, especially at that micro gym level. Okay, I don't know about you, but I didn't have the deep pockets to, like, you know, do cheap offers like a Fly Fit gym or like that. So I needed to charge high prices to get money up front to start, so I could pay my bills. And that is the micro gym model. There's no ifs or buts, ways around it. We need to charge high prices. And we need to charge high in the front end, and we need to get good at sales, and we need to start going, I'm the CEO, I'm the leader of this business, I need to outsource my operations, I need to outsource my training, and I need to be completely focused on revenue generating until I get to a point that I can hire someone to do it for me. And again, these are not my words, these are the words of, you know, the mentors that I've used that have been drilled into me. It's just knowledge that should be passed on to all of us so we can leverage it in our business to grow and to make money. You know, our business should be working for us as well as us working in the business, you know. Yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts on it. I've been brainwashed by my mentors, but it's good. It's working. I like it. So hope that's helpful, guys.
Yeah, lots to take away. It'd be great to hear from any of you if you managed to adopt any of these methods, advice into next year, and hear how it kind of went for you. It'd be great to obviously pass that on to you, Ronan. That's pretty much it. Unless anyone's got any further questions.
I got two questions for you, Ronan. All right. First one, you mentioned the using 6-week programs, 8-week programs, whatever it is, to get people into your business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people, they don't really use a trial such as that, but how are you currently using it within your business? Let's say they finish that 6 weeks, they paid that upfront cost, which is great because now we have money in the bank, we have a good profit margin.
Yeah.
How do you then go about upselling or downselling to your continued program, and what does that journey look like?
Yeah, very good question. So I tend to have 3 different ways I'll sell to people. So the first one is like a personal training intro. Those are the people who are price sensitive or they're not sure what to do. Okay. From there, you've got the option to your 6-week program. That's generally for weight loss people. But after that, I sell a 12-week program. So that 12-week program is 40 quid a week. So again, it's cheap for the area. I should be charging higher. So 40 quid a week, 160 quid every 4 weeks, and they're locked in for 12 weeks. After that, it's a rolling plan. You can cancel with 2 weeks notice, because that's on me. If they cancel at 2 weeks notice, it's because I'm delivering a shit service. I'm not tracking them effectively. I'm not progressing them. So PT, introduction, 6-week program generally for weight loss, but some people do it for muscle gain as well, and then 12-week maintenance program. The key thing on the back end is I've got accountability managers. So I got guys and girls who check in with these guys periodically on a regular basis. So a lot of us think that our job is physically in the gym. It's what we do in the gym. That is like, clients should be coming 3 times a week for 45 minutes. That's it. It's everything we're doing outside the gym. So it's those accountability coaches checking in. It's the content we're putting out, or the emails, or the value that you're adding thereafter. One of the mistakes I've probably made on accountability is I was doing accountability like my old rugby coach. It's like, hey, you weren't a fucking trainer. Where were you? This is bullshit. You should be down here. Whereas if you actually flip it on its head, and people prefer rewards. So let's say every Friday an accountability coach is checking in and they're like, oh my God, I saw you did like 4 classes this week and your goal was 3. You're at 120, 20% of target, whatever it is. Or I break it down for clients now. Your goal is 3 classes a week or 13 classes a month. And then we've got like, okay, you're at 80% of target. You do 2 more classes a month, boom, you've nailed it. And they reward us. Then in our WhatsApp group, it's like, hey, so-and-so like is just about to reach 100 club, or for their first 100 classes. So reward the success, reward the consumption of the content, and our content is them in the gym here. Okay, you got to reward that consumption, and that's how you sell on to the next program. Now the stage I'm at with my business is I'm looking to get to next level, and it's all about tracking and performance and finding out where people are going. Okay, good question there. So Tom, would you check in each month, week for accountability? And the question is, it depends, and it depends on the client. So I just look at like who's coming in, the attendance reports, and then from there we'll check in. So we have like red flag reports. So people who haven't been in a week, that is a serious red flag. 1 week of people not attending, red flag. Couple of messages, jump on the phone with them. Is everything okay? Are the kids okay? What's the story there? So weekly and monthly. And once the new manager starts, we'll have, let's say we'll have 150 clients. There'll be 3 accountability coaches. We'll break it down. They'll have 50 clients each to look after, and they'll be checking in with them weekly. So checking in with them weekly to go, hey, great work. Or sometimes you don't need to check in weekly. If you see they're there consistently, you can pass over for a couple of weeks. They'll have 50 clients each, 3 coaches, 50 clients each. It's probably about an hour to 90 minutes work a day. Contacting 10 people 5 days a week to check in with them. Your retention rates will be insanely high. You won't need to advertise in the front end. Your margins will be way up. So that accountability, the back end is where the real money is. To Shane's point about how do you sell to the next program, you're always selling. You're always selling. They need to ascend to the next level. And a great way to do this, and again, this hasn't started in my business, but it is starting, is to do speciality programs, which they pay more for. So, getting the barbells out. How do we do Olympic lifts? Or upselling them to personal training sessions. That's one thing we've been done really well at our goal setting session. So we'll do a quarterly goal setting session, and we'll go like, what's your goals? Where are you looking to get next? And I noticed you're struggling a little bit on your deadlift. Like, yeah, I do. I'm not quite getting there. Have you thought about a personal training session? Why don't we come in and do a one-on-one and actually get you up to speed? Once people start doing personal training sessions, they tend to stick to it. I got loads of people who they might be paying, like my other gym, they might have been paying 200 quid a month for their membership, and they're doing 1 personal training session a week. So that's an extra 240. That person has just gone from paying 200 quid to 440 quid a month. So my average revenue per member has jumped up, And so goal setting sessions, upsell them to personal training, upsell them to speciality courses. So they're constantly ascending to the next level. Maintenance is bullshit. You don't want people to maintain, you want them to ascend. constantly ascending. Were they better than they were yesterday? You know, have they done something new that they haven't done yesterday? So I hope that's answered your question. Or was there a second question there, Shane, as well?
There is a second question, but I actually have another one now before we get to that one.
Okay.
So on the accountability side of things, you're in a position now where you can hire other staff, and that's great. But a lot of our customers in LegitFit, they might just be that one-man band. And I think it's important to highlight the importance of having somebody looking after accountability, whether that is the one-man band himself, or they actually need to hire somebody in to do just a couple of hours of outreach and monitoring. But could you speak to how important it actually is to keep those people accountable and how that affects your revenue?
As in to keep the accountability coaches accountable?
To keep the clients accountable, and how important that is for a gym owner to put priority on, I suppose.
It should be your priority. You need to look at the low level activities that you can outsource. So maybe it's like cleaning the gym. Maybe that takes you an hour a day. But imagine you could hire that out for like 12, 15 quid an hour to someone to clean the gym. And then you can jump on phone calls to new leads, or do the accountability yourself until you have enough money to hire that person. But it also goes back to selling high ticket at the start. If you're selling high ticket, you've got all this extra margin. So now you can hire someone for an hour a day. So my main accountability coach is in Canada, and she just checks in with people. She's got an Irish number on WhatsApp, checking in with people. She runs through the reports 90 minutes a day, and that the retention goes up because you see the average length of engagement. Tom was talking about it earlier in the Two Brain report. It's like 7.8 months, your average length of engagement. If you can get that to 12 months and you look at your compound revenue and profits, it's huge. If you can get that to 18 months, it's massive. So an accountability coach, even just checking in once a week, doing an hour a day, you could get someone in the Philippines to do it, you know, depending on what software you're using, your text message, for next to nothing, and you will see an impact on your profits and revenue over a short space for a short time. I will just say, guys, I actually am in the gym, and there's a class here starting in about 12 minutes, so I might need to jump off soon enough, or else there'll be people jumping around. You won't be able to hear me. So any other questions, let us know.
Last one for me, and then I'll shut up. You're great at sales yourself. A lot of people, it's a skill that they can definitely learn, and they can learn pretty easily. Like you mentioned, it just takes practice and more reps. Do you think for somebody that really doesn't want to do it, or doesn't feel that that's where they can really excel, should they hire somebody in to do their sales?
Yes, but not at the start. Okay, because if you're hiring someone in to do sales, you're the leader. You need to tell them what to do. You need to know how to do it. So although you mightn't be that comfortable in doing it, you need to do it. You need to get the reps in. Okay, you're not going to be teaching a clean and jerk without practicing it first. Okay, so you need to get somebody in to do it. That said, I do think there's like a gap in the market for like a sales agency to do sales for gym owners who are working with agencies. That's probably something that's in my crosshairs or radar to do in the not too distant future, just because I can teach people how to do it. And what I found is most gym owners want to be operators and not be salespeople. I just happen to own a gym, but I'm a salesperson. I would love to do that for independent gyms. So again, yes and no. I would still make sure you're getting on the phone. It's your gym. You're the CEO. You're the leader. You do need to know how to do it before guiding other people how to do it. So yeah, outsource it, but not until you've done like 2,000 sales calls. Let's call it that.
There's the number, lads. 2,000. Get on the phones.
Get on the phones. Get on the phones. Yeah.
Thanks, Ron. Appreciate that.
Now go. Brilliant, Ronan. Thanks, and thanks for your input, Shane and Tommy as well. Good questions there. So that is it. Yeah, we've thanks for joining us today and for the rest of the week. Those that I think most of you have been here for a few sessions, which is great. There'll be a short survey that'll come around tomorrow. I think it'll be tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And then hopefully we'll see you next year when we do a couple more of these into 2023. So opportunity to let you know, we're focused on sales and growth this time round, but if there's any other areas you want that help or support with, let us know and we'll see if we can bring the experts in. But for now, generally hope that along with Ronan today and the rest of the guys this week, we've helped armed you with the knowledge and tools to help you get a head start in 2023. We'll leave it there. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, lads.
Get in the phones. Happy New Year.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.